Hey YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Shenzo Plays. Today we're continuing Blueprints. I believe we're on day 39. We had a really up and down session last time. On day 37 was started off really promising and then ended up falling a bit short. But then day 38 really turned around for us. We had a lot of really big breakthroughs on notes and things like that, so I'm pretty excited to continue today. We still are missing 4 Sanctum keys. We still have a ton of puzzles we need to solve. And we need to conquer that damn clock tower. So I'm very excited to continue today. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like or a comment on it. If you want to see more of my content, you can hit that subscribe button. And of course, don't forget to hit that alarm bell if you want to get notified when my latest video drops. But that's going to do it for me. Follow me on all my social media down below, and YouTube, I will see you in a second. Hey YouTube, welcome back. We're about to get started here with day 39. I covered most of it in the intro, so I won't repeat myself too much, but we did take a couple notes. I think our biggest breakthrough was we did find the castle cipher. Got to kind of figure out where to go from there. But we also wrote down a list of all of the items I've built. We need to get the power hammer again because we need to draft both the secret garden and the greenhouse with it. We didn't get either last time. There might be more, but those are the two off the top of my head that I can think of. We also need to find more information on some of the realms. Need to get some more sigil information. So I got to try and keep an eye out for that. But we did think we got some more information on Arc Ares yesterday, which is good. And now if we can just get one more piece of information, I'm sure we could, figure out what the rest is. But that is where we're at. So without further ado, let's dive back in. No package this time, because we didn't get the mailroom last time, although I do think we had the option. We did get 3 additional allowance tokens, so we're at 34. We also made a lot of progress yesterday. If you guys did not miss... Or, I'm sorry, if you guys did miss the video last time, I highly recommend you go back and take a look at it, because we had what was probably the most up and down session of blueprints. Like, I literally had to pause and walk away to take a breath because I was so tilted off the face of the earth. But I'm excited because we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So here we have the schoolhouse. We're going to draft this today because we need to get one more classroom, I think, to take the final exam. And we're going to try to do that today. So that's the goal. We're going to try to finish the final exam and pass it, hopefully. We do have a ton of information. I have a bunch of notes. I know it is timed, so I don't want to do too much, but it should be fun based on what we learned before. So that is where we are today. That is our plan, and let's continue on and press forward. I always like to start with the den out of all the options. Like, if I get the den, I always tend to draft it. I have noticed that's a habit of mine. There may be a secret with the swans. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of have to figure out the clock tower riddle again. But, and we still also need to keep an eye out for the castle cipher, which we have information on now, as well as sigils. So we can get a classroom immediately. That's kind of nice. So let's just draft that. And we'll see. We need to get to classroom 9. So here we are in classroom 1. And we can review everything. And this is colors. And we already kind of figured this out. Erasha is purple or violet. Arc Ares is yellow. And then I believe that this guy here, Nuance, is green. So we did figure that out. Or I'm sorry, that's not Nuance. That is Cocorico, which is orange. Nuance is green. And that was kind of the big hint there. But yeah, we need to get to classroom 9, unfortunately. Oh, the secret passage is here already. That's cool. I think we'll go with the reading nook, because this will guarantee us the library. I don't want to use the corridor this early or the secret passage. So let's go with the reading nook, because there may be a clue in here. And here's my thought and my reasoning is that the castle is another word for rook, right, in chess. And because we found the cipher in the chess boardroom, I have a feeling that it's related somehow. I don't know for sure how or what that would be. But the castle cipher, for those that don't know, it's just the word castle. So all the letters in castle moving down, and then there were 2 spaces after it. So we have CASTLE, and I always feel like, oh yeah, the rook, you know, we're in the reading nook. It has a key. I don't quite know what to look for in here, but I just kind of want to take a really close look on the off chance that I miss something. So, a journey noteworthy. May want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. We already used beside here. And I wonder if I could get a magnifying glass and take a closer look at this. I would imagine there might be some hint in here that maybe I've overlooked this entire time. But on the note, luckily we get the library immediately. And yeah, this will draft to kind of a circle here, but it would dead end us anyway if we didn't get the library. And maybe we'll get lucky. Nope, unfortunately no magnifying glass here. Unfortunate. But we can draft a new... we can draft a new book here. So I think we will go with The Realm in Ruin by Professor R. Willard. Just because that might give us some more sigil information down the road. And yeah, we need one more final exam. One more classroom, so we need to get 9 of them in this run. It's possible that we will, possible we won't. Yeah, let's get another classroom here. Although maybe getting the parlor is probably the way to go because we could use the additional gems. And we'll try to get the classroom next time. The gems are not in a box with a true statement. The statement on the blue box is as true as this statement. And the gems are not in a box with a true statement. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So they're either... The gems are not in a box with a true statement. The gems are not in a box with a true statement. The statement on the blue box is as true as this statement. So interesting, because that implies that all 3 are either true or all 3 are false, because these are the same. The gems are not in a box with a true statement. The gems are not in a box with a true statement. And then this one is the statement on the blue box is as true as this statement. So if this statement is true, that would imply that this statement is true, and since it's the same as this statement, that would be 3 true, but that can't be right. So if this statement is false, isn't as true as this statement, then these 2 would both be true. And it would be in this box here, the white box. Yep, got it. Okay, cool. I continue to be undefeated at that parlor game. We'll see how long that lasts. We get the classroom. I don't really like the rotation on that one, though, but I do think we do need to just draft classrooms regardless of whether I like it, because otherwise we have 2 dead ends. So I think we need to go with the classroom here. And again, as a reminder, this is basic math. We do have that math down pretty well with the colors. So we have figured that out. And let's try to draft here. We get the drawing room, which would end our run, the bedroom, which would not end our run, or we could redraw. I think the bedroom here is probably the way to go. I don't want to use our redraws. And getting the bedroom, I think, early is not a bad thing. There might be an item in here. There's a small chance of an item. We still haven't solved this, whatever the riddle is in here. I've been told there's something in here, but I don't know what it is. Getting the courtyard here is good. I think that's a good one because it won't dead end us and it'll open us up a couple different ways. Plus, there could be an item. We need the sledgehammer. Man, no item, unfortunately. Not the end of the world, but definitely one of those things where it's like, oof. Classroom would dead end us there. Mechanarium would also dead end us. Because there is no... We don't have any, so there wouldn't be any additional doors. So I guess we have to go with the classroom. And then this is the science class, which we already determined by how to read... how to use the elements here, so that's good. Alright, this is a dead end. So we will have to go the other way and hope we get lucky. Because otherwise this might be a very short run today, everybody. And this is going to be one of the shortest runs of all time unless we get the key card in the closet. Man, you just talk about not having any luck on this run. We got the key card. Alright, the run is not over. And the only reason the run is not over is because now we can go access a different area from the foundation. So we have to go down and out, but we can get to the foundation because we can call the elevator now with the key card. So we got a little lucky there, which is good. Definitely not the worst thing. Like, you know, run could have been over just like that. But instead, now we get a second lease on life because we have access to the basement, and we got the key card in the closet. Whew. Man, tough crowd, huh? Tough crowd. Oh, man. I'm still trying to think over the castle cipher, and just nothing is coming to me right now. Which is pretty unfortunate. But even if the run did end, even if the run had ended there, one of the nice things about our situation is that we could have used the one key we got from the Nook to move on and go down to back down to the bottom of the reservoir and possibly opened up another chest and maybe gotten something new. We could definitely check to see if those chests remain open or not once you open them. I think they would, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, and very lucky. Look at that. We have a security door, and we have the key card. All right. I think we'll go with the hallway here. No, let's go with the corridor. I know I like to save that for later, but just the positioning is probably better. So we can get the code check. We can get the observatory or the classroom. I think if we have to go with any of these... I hate to use the reroll this early, but I think out of everything here, I know we're trying to get as many classrooms as possible, but I also want to keep things open. So I'm going to use the redraw here, and we have the office instead. So this was honestly not great. It didn't give us what I was hoping for. I was hoping for like a green room, but I guess we can get the office, and this will give us a 1 gem back. And on top of that, it will help us get one closer because it'll give us the king. So I think we're in a good spot there. I don't want to spread gold throughout the mansion yet because we haven't, you know, we only have so much space. I think we definitely need to go with the servant spare quarters here. Pantry would be good as well, but I think we need more keys because we are already a bit further north in the mansion. Look at that, running shoes. That's a pretty nice pickup there. And look at that. Locked door immediately. So we can get the commissary or we can get the classroom. Again, I definitely feel we should focus on the classrooms. We should use as many diamonds as we can get to get those. This is history class with all of the geography. And then, yeah, this is where we had the symbol. That's the symbol for Reddington, which I remember from earlier. I have to use another key. I think we'll use the hallway here, because I don't want to use the pool. I know we have a ton of redraws, but I think the hallway is not a bad option here. I don't want to use up all my keys immediately. We have another classroom, the boudoir, or we can get the nursery. I think I want to go with the boudoir, But there are two of them, so I'm not super worried about that. We'll get the classroom here. And look, the magnifying glass. Okay, that's cool. We can go back, hopefully. Yeah, this is art. Draw two things that share all but one letter of their name. There's the dining room. That'll be good, because that'll set us up for a couple different directions. And it'll give us the lunchbox, which is really good. We have the gallery. I think the gallery will be good, because this will give us a couple gems. I know the commissary is good too, but here we get a couple gems, I think some money, and of course, room 8. Key 8, which will be good. And getting an extra key is always solid. We can't use key 8 here. So let's check the other side of the dining room. And both are locked. We have, like, no keys, which is really unfortunate. So we'll use a key here. We get the drafting studio, which we can add a new permanent to the draft pool. We can get the boudoir, which would give us another diamond. I think investing in the drafting studio is good because we can get a diamond from here as well. And then this way we can also add something. So we can get the casino, the Dovecote, or the kennel. Man, I feel like a lot of these are going to be pretty good, but I think I'm going to go with the Dovecote here. Because the ability to rotate... the ability to rotate floor plans, I think, is really good. Okay, I don't remember what the code for the drafting room is, so let me look that up. I think it's August 8th, maybe? But I'm not 100% sure. I thought this safe would be open, like all the others, but... 1108, okay. And that should give us a little gem. Oh, no, it just gives us the letter. Okay. I thought for sure there was a gem in here. Tuesday, December 15th. Drafting Strategy Volume 1. Nursery and the servants' quarters. Vexation. Alright, can't use key 8. That is kind of the only downside of the build path we chose. We now have no keys. So I gotta go down to the foundation, we gotta use the security code. We don't have a shop yet, which is the big reason why I don't want to spread the gold in the manor, even though I know it doesn't harm anything. Conference room. Okay, I feel a lot better now about spreading money throughout the mansion, so we'll use the conference room, and then we'll go back into the office. And we'll spread the gold, because it'll all be right there. Alright. Okay, and then... I just want to check and see if there's another note in Oh, hang on, sorry guys. So I do apologize. There is a fire nearby, so if you see me checking my phone, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have an evacuation notice. So I do apologize. I know it's not very professional, but just trying to, stay safe. I have 4 pets in the house, so I need to make sure that, if not for me. Wednesday, December 15th. If we want to try and communicate with Simon, it's better post here or send him emails. And I'll put a special order in. And I think we'll use the sledgehammer because we need that, so. Alright. Data transfers. No data packets available at this time. Okay. Sounds good. So let's go into the conference room now. We'll just collect as much of the money as we can. Hello, Tanner. How you doing, bud? You okay? Tanner's here, everybody. He's supervising. Huh, kiddo? Yeah. Ooh, banana. Okay, and let's use our key card. Access another security door. I think Rotunda's the right draft here. I would love the House of Mirrors, but I think the Rotunda's the way to go. Just because we can get more of the house. And dang, that door's locked. That's not a good sign. Let's rotate. Luckily, we have a couple more doors. That one's also locked. If every door is locked, then we are officially locked out. There's nothing else we can do. Oh, man. That's extremely unlucky. Key 8 won't fit. And despite our best effort, it looks like this run is, in fact, over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back through the conference room. We're going to go back down the foundation and go check out the Nook, since we have the magnifying glass. Luckily, we didn't get like a ton, so I can't be too upset about this. But I want to take a look for the castle cipher at that, with the magnifying glass for the note in the Nook. And I was told by Femzy, who knows me very well, not to overthink everything. So, man, I'm very disappointed with this run. I'll be honest, guys. I thought we had a pretty promising one with the classrooms, but yeah, we just didn't have a lot of good luck with our draws, unfortunately, and then we had no keys. Stinks, but that's the way the game goes sometimes, right? That's RNG for you. And it's not like last time where we had the freaking clock tower, and I just immediately, like, got... the animals started fighting, so I got up to leave and missed it. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But hey, could be worse, right? I can't really complain about anything if I'm going to be completely honest. I really can't. Alright, here's the Nook. Let's take a look at what this says here. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then... Yep, okay, so this is... Do that. Sinclair has many secrets that he will take to his grave. Antechamber appears to be sealed by all 4 sides, and there must be a way to open it. Okay, so yeah, there isn't really anything here that jumps out. Man. Yeah, not really a great run, I'll be honest. Just bad RNG. But that's the way it goes sometimes, right? You okay there, Tanner boy? Tanner's licking like one spot a lot, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on him. Okay. So we have CASTLE. And the only cipher hint I think we got was from a new clue. But I don't know for sure if that's the case or not. Alright, well, man. Tough run. Tough run. Let's go take a look over here. I think we did solve the tombs. I'm not super worried about that. Yeah, courtyard, den, and reading nook. Largest purchase. Morajai, the White Sea of Yore. So let me just double check here, because that could be Morajai, the White Sea. That could be a hint just for the transportation. I just figure we should take a look at everything while we're here, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, Morajai is white, Vera is pink, we solved that. So, perhaps, if it's C, then maybe the transportation for Morajai... I'm just trying to find my notes. Sorry, guys. So Fen Aries is road and carriage. Orinda Aries was train and locomotive. We don't know Araha yet. I would imagine that Morajai is probably naval ships and seaports. That would probably be my guess. Nuance is probably aviation, because that was the green one. So I'm just taking, some guesses here. Because we did see the dirigible in the classroom. Just got to get back to where Nuance is. So Nuance is probably... Transportation is probably aviation. Morajai is probably the... Morajai is probably naval, if I had to guess, just based on the ship there, right? So I'll just probably put question marks here. So we'll do naval. With a question mark. So that only leaves, at least as far as transportation, I think the only ones we haven't used yet are camels and mules, horseback, and I think that's it. I think it's just camels and mules and horseback. I think we've got everything else, because that was turtleback for Vera. So that means Araha and Oh, wait a minute. We are missing one other one, because we've used road/carriage, and then train and locomotive. Aviation, naval, turtleback. So that's... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 5. So we're missing 7. What are we missing here as far as... Like, what haven't we used for transportation, I wonder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 perhaps uses 2. Or there's one I missed in my notes. Actually, going back... Transportation. Because, yeah, there's 8, so I think everything is unique. Except transportation, it looks like. But these are all decent sigil clues, I think. So, yeah, not a bad run. Not a bad run. But that's where we're going right now. Sorry, now I'm, like, reviewing all my notes and stuff at the moment. Yeah. Need to take my final exam, which I tried to do this time. We'll call it a day here. I don't think there's a ton more information we can get, unfortunately, for day 39. But we did, I think, have a couple breakthroughs. Ruled out a couple things. But yeah, definitely not our best showing for sure. When you look at this, just bad luck kind of around. We ran out of keys very early. We locked ourselves out of some rooms early. You know, just that's the way it goes sometimes. But hey, we still got a good like 30 minutes out of that run, so not the end of the world. And again, just keeping an eye out on that fire. So I do apologize, but just trying to make sure that you know, don't have to suddenly evacuate with my animals. So it'll take me a couple of minutes to round them up, namely the cats. You guys know all about herding cats, I'm sure. All right. Let's grab our allowance. We'll run out. And, you know, aside from the classroom, I don't feel there's like a must grab for the outer room anymore. Maybe the tool shed to give us a head start. But beyond that, yeah, I don't really have like anything that I feel we absolutely need. The shrine could be good. Shelter could also protect us from the next 3 red rooms drafted. So we'll do that. I might want to try the shrine soon and try to figure out some of the blessings. There's also, I think, the cursed coffin in there. But let's check since we're here on the computer. We're in the bomb shelter. We'll check our staff services. And, you know, I don't know if we've ever checked our... And there we go. I think, let's check electronic mail. This communication method is fully secure. I'm the only lab technician with network access, the only one who uses this terminal. I'm working to get you some more supplies, but I'm not focusing on essentials. I believe there's enough food in the shelter to last for the duration, though I think it'd be wise if you can do a quick inventory to confirm that. Okay. In terms of area, there's not really as much room here as I remember from my youth. If it was just me, I wouldn't mind, but with 4 of us in the space, we're going to need planning. I don't expect this to be a sustainable solution more than a week, a fortnight at best. That's 2 or more, but it doesn't say who. Might be Mary from her youth. Passed on the message. Anna, your uncle says he may have an idea for a more long-term solution, but it's going to require some doing. I'm not exactly sure what he has in mind, but this morning when I looked at today's blueprints, I saw he drafted the pump room. Floor plan I haven't seen used in a very, very long time. I have a feeling y'all may be taking a boat ride shortly. And then stay put is finally happening. Just got confirmation from our source. The Red Guard is coming tomorrow to begin their formal inquiry into the disappearance. At this point, it's going to be too risky to move you until next week at the earliest. Just hang tight for now. Okay. So that's basically the indication that they moved to the safe house. So that's all good to know there. All right. So now we're protected from the next 3 red rooms, which is good. We do need to still get the furnace and the freezer together. Gotta figure that out. And we have the classrooms to get. We need to get classroom number 9. Let's go this way instead. I know I usually go to the left, but we'll get the parlor. We'll try to get some diamonds early. Gems are in another box. The truth is on another box. The words another box are on another box. Okay. So this one's true. And the truth is on another box. So if this one's true, and this one's true, then this one has to be false. And the gems are actually in this box. So another way that another trick I've realized by doing this parlor stuff is that they need to offer, oh, we got the sledgehammer. That's a pretty decent start. Plus a ton of gems. But they need to offer a direction as to what box has the prize. And they can't do that if, so that's a big help for like, hey, let's try and solve this, you know, logically. We don't need to get every room, but I do definitely want to get in the habit. And luckily we are protected from losing a coin, so that's another reason why I'm like, yeah, let's draft this. Storeroom is a great place to have here. This will give us 2 keys. No other items in here, though. The castle will take you places. That's one of the hints Femzy gave me for this castle cipher. I still haven't been able to figure that out, though. I guess we'll go with the den here. Conference room. The nursery I don't think would be a bad draft spot here. I think we'll go with the nursery. This will probably give an item. A key? Okay. A red crown made of rubies, so castle. Drawing the greenhouse here, I think... I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. We'll try it. We do need the broken lever. No item. I was really hoping we'd get, like, the broken lever in here, because if we find the broken lever, the battery will probably be in the workshop if we can draft it. And remember, we can refill. We can get the pool here. We have the sledgehammer, so that's pretty nice. Whole bunch of keys. Well, at least this time, hopefully we won't run out of keys like we did last time, am I right? Ooh, conservatory. I think that's a good place to go. South-facing doors. East wing is the master bedroom. Yep, so we kind of already knew all that, but we can adjust the rarity here. Yep, I think that's standard's fine. Courtyard standard. I think the courtyard should be commonplace, just because it's such a good room for us. And I think we'll make the secret passage standard as well. We don't have the shovel. So a rook is in here as well. I don't know. We have the conservatory. The nook. It's like when I think of like castle, maybe Khan could be one, but I don't know for sure. Veranda, greater chance of finding items in green rooms. I think that's actually pretty good. Sir and spare quarters would be good, but I think we want to go the veranda here. Because now we want to find more items. That's the goal, is we need to find items. And eventually we need to get the workshop. So we got the shovel. So before I go too crazy in my hunt for the search, I'm going to go back and dig up in the courtyard and the greenhouse. So I know this will take a couple more steps, but I'm not super worried about that because we just have to draft bedrooms, which I think we can do. There's plenty of common ones there. But this way, hopefully, we'll get lucky and maybe get some more coins. And maybe we can buy out the entire showroom in one shot if we get that. We may need to come down here. But yeah, definitely got to try and find the broken lever if we can, and hopefully we'll find the battery pack. Of course, I think both of them can also appear in the dark room, so that's kind of nice. Alright. Let's draft here. Ooh, getting this immediately is really good. I definitely think, well, and also it's a brand new room, so let's get it. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Got I found a key in here. With the crow facing south. I wonder if you need to draft the den with this. With this. Dear Mother, if you're reading this, that means Junie and I made it home safely. I imagine he's going to be quite tired after such a long flight, so make sure he gets some treats and rest. School is going well, though I do miss you terribly. Unfortunately, even though the dean gave me permission to keep my birds here on campus, I'm afraid it's getting a bit too cold for them as the semester marches on. So I made the decision to send them all home before the winter months arrive. All that to say, expect some more letters soon. Dotingly, Mary. Dearest Mother, this should be the 5th letter you've received from me this month, though I know statistically it's very unlikely that every single member of my flock has found their way home. And please, please don't tell me if they didn't arrive. It's going to be hard enough that I'm truly on my own. In other news, my class have been engaging and I'm slowly making friends, so please ignore the dramatic despair of my previous letter. Things are indeed looking brighter, but I still maintain that 3 years is too long a time to be away from home. Mary. Herbert, thank you so much for your gift of the wedding doves, whom I, of course, recognized immediately, and yes, I got the hint. So here's your letter. I know it's a long, long overdue. The Mahou life suits me, I think. Not that I didn't love Mount Holly, of course, but after the years of being confined in a tiny dormitory, the small place Daniel and I have picked out in Reddington feels more like a stately manor. Once we finish unpacking and setting everything up, I'll insist on making an exception to your reclusive lifestyle to come, share a meal, and admire our somewhat less impressive but much more personal view of the town. Thanks again for the card. Mary. We are returning east and should arrive on Tuesday. If the coast is not clear, lower the SD to warn us. Interesting. Okay. So that was dated... That was dated on September 1st, 71, or 74. The 28th. Wedding doves. We are returning east and should arrive on Tuesday if the coast is not clear. Okay. Interesting. I will probably come back and take notes about that before we end this run. I just want to keep going. I don't kind of want to, like, take notes on everything, but I think that could be some good information there. I just want to take a look and see if there's anything else. I don't see anything, so we'll keep moving. We can get the Nook, the aquarium. Man, I don't really like any of these drafts. I'm going to be honest. I wish that this was better rotated. I'd probably grab the aquarium, but I think the Nook is probably the way to go here. But no matter what happens, it's going to block off the... So I'm actually going to go with the Geist bedroom to get some rerolls. And with the nursery, it'll give us some more steps as well. So I figured it's... should be good to go. And we'll come back and take notes about that later, I'm sure. Or I'll just rewatch this recording. One way or the other. Alright. We can get the cloister. Might be an item in there we could use. And on top of that, it would also open up a door moving north as well. We can get the corridor or the reading nook. I think we'll go the cloister. We have plenty of gems, and I think the cloister is the most expensive one we have in the house. So, since we axed the throne room. We got a couple coins. And a rock. Alright. I don't see an item, unfortunately. I was hoping that we'd have the broken lever in here. That was a big part of the reason why I drafted the cloister. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. We could get the closet here. I don't really like that, though. Getting the items could be nice. But I think the hallway is the way to go because, again, we don't have the key card yet. And I don't want to accidentally seal off the area to the foundation. So you have the bedroom, the pantry, and the terrace. I think we have to use a reroll here, and we'll use the nook. I was kind of hoping to get the east hallway. But we've got the nook again. That's not bad. We can get the library, the servant spare quarters, or we could end our run with the coat check. I think I want to go the servant spare quarters. This will give us some more keys and some more steps. And look at that, running shoes on top of that. Gotta love it. Grab a couple keys. So we are keyed out of our gourd today. Nothing else over here. And we'll use a key. Mailroom, pantry, or garage. Normally I wouldn't be opposed to drafting any of these. But we don't have a lot of open spaces, so we'll draft the pantry. Got the corridor, a secret passage, or the solarium. I think we'll go with the secret passage here. Because that way we will be able to open up a green room in there. And maybe we'll get the one we're missing. And we have a reroll, which is kind of nice. So we have the courtyard, the aquarium, or the solarium. Honestly, all of these wouldn't be bad. I kind of want to try a reroll, but at the same time, I think I'll just play it safe and go with the courtyard, where there's a chance we'll get the broken lever. Metal detector, I'll take that. That's pretty good. And since we have the sledge, we get the silver key and another gem. And we also get access to the foundation, which is honestly what I wanted. So now we have quite a few more open spots. So if we don't go where we need to, that's okay. I think we'll go with the bedroom here. Breaker box could be good, but not super worried about that at this point. We'll get 8, and then we'll dig. Got a turnip, okay. More steps. Another turnip. Oh, we're definitely not hurting for steps, that's for sure. Can't go that way, that's alright. Sleeping mask. Oh, man, that's... We're going to have steps for days. We have no problem with steps moving forward. I think we go with the aquarium here. Library's good, but this would dead-end us, so I think we go with the aquarium. Broken lever could be in here as well. It's kind of nice. It's not, but it could have been. Another coin over there. Commissary. I think that's a good thing to draft here. That also gives us 2 shops. Unfortunately, we do use a shelter on the aquarium, though, which kind of sucks. And it looks like all they have are... Yeah, nothing really great. We've got a key and gems and bananas. I think security's probably the way to go here. We could get the boudoir. Yeah, let's go with the boudoir. I know I love security, and security's super useful, but I'm just thinking with how limited everything is already, we just go with the, rerolls. Ballroom? Normally I would jump all over that, but, I don't want it today. We'll go with the corridor here. Save our rerolls. Because, yeah, we have 1,000,000... Coin? We have 1,000,000 keys right now, and we have 1,000,000 freaking, 1,000,000 freaking, options. So, if we draft this, we could double our money, but that would end our run. So, it doesn't put any point. If we draft this, there wouldn't have exactly 2 shops anymore. We'd have 3. So, I'm going to try to reroll here. We can get the gallery. We could drop the passageway as well. I think I'm going to go with the gallery, though. We'll get the room 8 key. And a whole bunch of money and some gems. And we can get the library here, the mailroom, or the ballroom. Again, I don't want to drop the ballroom. I feel the library is probably good because we can get less common floor plans. And we have the book here on sigils. I want to review this anyway. So yeah, there are only 7 versions of transportation. Meaning there's going to be some overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's only 7 weather as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8. Alrighty. So just wanted to confirm there will be some overlap, and that's okay. Let's see, this is rank 6. Let's use the silver key to get a room with many doors. Drawing room, conference room, or mechanarium. I don't think we have, like, any mechanical rooms in the house right now, so that room would not help us at all. Drawing room would be good. Conference room would also be good. I think we'll go the drawing room because that'll give us free rerolls, in addition to practically paying for itself. Key on the floor. We'll use a key. We can get the dining room here, the kitchen, or the solarium. I feel like getting the dining room is the way to go here because this will give us more steps. I just don't like the rotation of it. I would prefer if we had a door that went out. But let's get it, because then we can get a meal and the lunchbox. And plus, it's not like we have a shortage of keys, you know? Okay. So we get the aquarium, but that would block that area off. It would access the southern door, which is good, but I think I want to redraw this. And yeah, I think the office is the way to go here. And we have pizza, which this is, I believe, if we have the furnace, which we don't have, so. Alright, we'll just take those 20 steps. Break this open. There's the key card. Now, if we run into security doors, that's good. We've been pretty lucky. We haven't hit a single security door so far. We can spread gold throughout the estate. Let's use key 8 here. We can solve this puzzle again. Number within the room we're in, so that's 8. Ever been far from the fin? Neighborson is written thin. So this is Wrath, I think? It's either Wrath or Sloth. And I think this guy is always here. Letter and its twin appear on each bin. I think that's Avarice. This is Sloth. All right. Yeah. This one's gluttony. And I believe this guy is lust. And this guy over here is envy. And an allowance token. We did it. Earning more money. Hell yeah. Alright, we'll use a key since we've only got, 12 of them. We can finally get the clock tower. That would end this section. But I think that's worth it because we still have all the sections on the other side. And clock tower is one of the ones we needed to get anyway. So 130. And what time is it? Okay. It looks like it's not even noon yet. I think an hour of in-game time is 7 minutes. So, rather than just sit here and wait for 7 minutes, let's take 60 seconds. And we won't spend, and we will run all the way down. And we'll come back here after we get this done. Rotunda here is perfect. Patio is fine there. I'm okay with that. There's the battery pack. We get the trophy room, the locker room. I'm going to re-roll here. Dark room. Lockpick. It's pretty straightforward. And the key card, I'm hoping we can get the workshop. Alright, let's not dilly-dally too much. Let's head back to the clock tower. We have 129 steps and 18 keys. So after this, we will definitely be heading down to the... We'll come back and get the rotunda in a little bit. Whoops, this is not the way I wanted to go. That's okay, though. Office. Roommate. Clock tower. Okay, and this time we're not going to miss it, everybody. Whatever it is, we're not going to miss it. Alright, we are just in time. This will take about 7 minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick right here. And we're just going to hang out. We're going to review everything. If it takes too long, I'll just edit all this out. We'll just call it good. Alright, also, in case you guys were wondering, still no updates on the fire, so I think we're okay. I think they already have firefighters there. But, yeah, if you can, definitely support your local firefighters. There's a reason why ain't no one says fuck the fire department. Because they work very hard and they do good work. But, alright, I guess... I don't know if I'm supposed to be in a certain location when we hit this. It does really look like everything is slowing down. I don't know if we need to be at the bottom or the top when this happens, but we are almost there. We are about an hour of in-game time away. I don't know if something is going to open or what. I don't know if we need to be at the top or the bottom of the clock tower when the time comes. I kind of don't want to miss it again, so I'm tempted to Google it right now, I'm going to be honest. But I guess if we do end up missing it for whatever reason, when it gets close, I guess we can just kind of move down to the center. I'm not actually going to Google it, guys. I would love to, but I'm going to actually try and do this legitimately. I'm just going to hope the cat and the dog don't decide to fight. Actually, I'm going to take a precaution right now. I'll be right back. Hi, Tanner. Good boy, bud. Okay. So, to kind of minimize the chance of them fighting, I actually locked the cats into their side of the house. So, they're good. They have food, they have water, all that other fun stuff. Come here, Tanner boy. Come here. No games. Come here. So now I only got to worry about one four-legged animal right now. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I have 3 cats that I adopted. I'm kind of looking after, I guess, as they're kind of like uncle for a little while. And, they and Tanner don't get along very well right now. Tanner wants to get along with them, but, unfortunately, the cats don't feel the same way. So, you know, basically it's just trying to, like what happened last time is I was trying to, you know, teach them, like, hey, you guys are friends, you can get along. And we're making progress. You know, the cats are getting used to Tanner, but it's tough because Tanner's problem is he gets too excited around them, and, you know, they need time to kind of know, hey, Tanner's friendly, he's not going to hurt you. You know, from their perspective, all they see is a giant dog who could eat them, which is 100%, you know, fair and valid. But, that's kind of where we are. We have 45 minutes in-game before we reach this time. And I don't know if like, something will open up, or we'll have a hatch, or what. That's kind of the big thing I don't understand here. I don't know if we need to be down here or not, but I think once we get to like 15 minutes away, we'll try to go halfway so we can race down if something will open up. Because it does look like everything is slowing down, like as it gets closer. I think that might be to give us time to get wherever we need to go. Good boy, Tanner. Alright. About 30 minutes, 35 minutes. How great would it be if we did this whole thing again, and, we missed it a second time? I am very, very nervous, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. I'm actually gonna keep this close. So I can hear, because there'll probably be like a locking mechanism or something like that that goes off. Alright. 30 minutes away. So about 3 minutes, I think, of in-game time, if I remember Femzi's calculations correctly. Okay, we're getting there. Good boy, Tanner. I wonder if there's something down here, like a hatch or something. All right, 15 minutes. Almost, just over 15 minutes left in game, of course. So I don't know how well you guys can hear, but it sounds like a countdown timer almost. "10 minutes. Almost there. "5 minutes. All right. I know this is probably not the most exciting thing I've done, but... All right. And there's the door. I wonder if this was open and we ran past it last time. Each of these clocks should be set to a different time. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. Set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. This clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. The clock should not be set on the hour. None of these clocks should be set to the times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. The clock should be set to the time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in reverse order. The clock are positioned so that their times will go up in ascending order. So it's actually descending order. Okay, each of the clocks should be set to a different time. Fair. 5 of the clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. Okay. Set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. So all the same number, perhaps? So... maybe something like 11:11 or 12:12? Or 10:10? And they're in descending order, right? Times will go down in descending order. So if this is like a 12, then an 11, so this would be 10? So 10:10 maybe? So it has the same number? Containing all different numbers, so all the same numbers. So yeah, the only ones that would be either 12:12 or 11:11. So it's 10:10, and not even that, it's 11:11. That's the hint. All the same number, that's only 11:11. Okay. So that's 11:11 in descending order. And that's 11:11. And both are set to a time containing a 7. All containing different numbers. Each of these clocks should be set to a different time. 5 of them are on the hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 of them. Boy, I wonder... Okay, you know what? Remember how we wrote down all those times for, I was trying to think, where did we find times? Right? And the only thing I can think of is in the safe house. There isn't any other place where we found times, and I don't think they would just randomly give this to us. So, we have here, 110, 105, because I think this was the plan for their getaway, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times there. But maybe not. Maybe not. That doesn't make a ton of sense either. Because this was at like 1 in the afternoon, and if one needs a 7, we don't have anything with that. Both should contain a 7. This clock is on the hour. So... none of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so that rules that out, my safe house theory, because all those have 1s. But none of the clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, so that'll narrow it down. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in reverse order. And then the clocks are positioned so that their times will go up in ascending order, and so that's a lie, so... their times will go down in descending order. Set this clock to a time containing all the same number. Or not all different numbers. So yeah, 11:11. Because if it's descending, then yeah. So this would be like noon, I think. This would have to be like either after 11, like between 11:30 and noon. And each one is set to a different time. This one contains a 7. So, let's see. And yeah, this can't be 11, so maybe it's 0707? 707? And if they're all in descending order... And this clock should be set on the hour. So this would indicate that this is 7 o'clock? Right? $7 o'clock? Because if this one should not be set on the hour, but it's red, it means it should be set on the hour. And if this one has to contain a 7, that's the only way that works. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that rules out quite a lot there. So if there's no 1, 2, 3, or 4, that rules out 10, 11, and 12, as well as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Clock should be set to a time that contains the same numbers, but on a different one, and these clocks are positions that are not positions so that their times will go up in ascending order. Okay. This one has to be all the same number. Set this clock to a time that doesn't contain all different numbers. Meaning there could be some variation here. Okay, 5 of these clocks should be set to end on the hour. Alright, so if that's 7:07 and this is 7 o'clock, that means there are 2 more that will be set at a different time, and 3 that are set on the hour. And each one is set at a different time. Alright, let's put all these to be on the hour, because then we gotta figure it out. If they're all different, and 5 of them are supposed to be set on the hour, and none of them can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 in them. And if this one should be set on the hour, that has to be 7. And this has to be 7:07. And there's 8 of them, right? Okay. This is tough, guys. Alright, let's go through all the clues again. The clocks are not positions so that their times will go up in ascending order. So it could be descending order. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in reverse order. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Alright, so that means with 1, 2, 3, or 4, that is actually really helpful, because that means that none of the times can go above the 10-minute mark or below the 50-minute mark. meaning that we only have a limited number of options here. So if they all have to be on the hour, if 5 of them are on the hour and they're all supposed to be different, that only leaves 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we already have 7. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So yeah, those are the 5 times. So that means we have to have 1 at 8 o'clock, 1 at 9 o'clock, 1 at 5 o'clock, and 1 at 6 o'clock remaining. So let's just put all of these to start. We'll put them all at 5. All the ones that we don't know. To start, right? We know this has to be 1 because it has to have at least 2 numbers that are the same, and it has to have a 7. So that's why I think 7:07 is right here, and 7 o'clock is right here, because this one has to be set on the hour. So we know that 7 can't work. Put this guy here. This guy, not this guy, sorry. Whoops. This guy here should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers as another clock here, but in reverse order. So if we do reverse order, there's only a handful of other possibilities that could work. And what I mean by that is, like, it would have to be like 05 or like 9:59 or 8:59 or 7 or 8:58, 7:57. So there's a very limited number of that we can draw from, but we know that this guy is not set on the hour because it can't be, because reverse would be 0, and 0 doesn't work. These aren't 24-hour clocks. So we know that this guy here is either somewhere, and I'm just going to put him here, between 5:50 and 5:10 and 5:09. And even then, it can't even be all of them, because there can't be a 4 or a 5. So we know this is an odd guy. This is an odd guy. It can't be 7:07. So this guy and one other clock have to be the odd fellows. The clocks are positioned so they will not go up in ascending order. So interestingly enough, we have 7:07, 7 o'clock. So this one could be 6, or I'm sorry, this one could be 6. This one would probably be 5 something, and then this one would be 5 o'clock. That's my thought. So let's start there and kind of work our way back. So if they're in descending order, that makes more sense. Assuming this is the first one. So if that's the case, if this is in descending order, we have 5 o'clock, 5 something, but maybe not. In reverse order. So if this is 5:50, maybe it would be 9:55 would be another one, or 8:55, because we have 6, 7. Maybe this is 7:05 and this is 5:07. Let's try it. It could work. Let's see. 5:07. And then this one is 7:05. So now we have 1, 2, 3 clocks. Right? So this one would be 8. And this one would be 9. So we have 5, 507, 607, 705, 707, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Not a single one has 4. Right? Oh, if I got it right, it should have triggered, so there's something wrong here. So, well, this does make sense. $507, $705, $707 for this one, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. The neighbors should be set to a time that both contain a 7. And they all have to be different times. And 5 have to be sent on an hour. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. So all the same numbers? So what if this one is... But no, there can't be. Because this one has to contain a 7, right? So my thought is containing not all different numbers. This would be the same in reverse order. Alright, let's try... What if we did 557? This clock should be set to on the hour. So we do 557 here, or 757. Because it can't be 4, right? It's not... The clocks are positioned so their times will go up in ascending order. Well, so if this one is 7... I mean, I suppose this could be 7, and this could be 5? Okay, so let's try that. Let's go the other way. Let's try this at 6. Whoops. Maybe 607? That doesn't make a lot of sense, though. So if we have 5, and then 6, and then this would have to be 6 something, right? But it's supposed to have It doesn't. It's not supposed to have all different numbers. So maybe this is 5 something. Yeah. So this would have to be 5 something. So maybe like 557, and then 755 is the flip side. So 557. Yeah, at least 2 of the same numbers. Or maybe, what if this is 555? If it's all the same number. That could work. Right? So it's 555, so it's all the same number. And then this one here would be, so that's 5, yeah, so that's 6, 555. Because, yeah, if it's ascending order, so then, yeah, we do descending, but no, this would be ascending order. 555. This has to be 7. So 6, 555. Plus we'll go up in ascending order. I mean, my gut tells me it's... Like, this goes up in descending order, unless it's starting from here and then going that way is first. But for me, it... Alright, let's continue, since the other solution clearly didn't work. We'll start here at 9. This will have to be 8 something. So this clock is 5:55, so this would probably be like 5:58, maybe? No, 5:08? $5:55, 5:08, 5 o'clock. Whoops, why did I keep pressing the wrong button, everybody? Sorry. And I skipped right past it like a dodo bird. Six. Yeah, so 5 are on the hour. And they're not in ascending order. This can't be 5:08. So this would have to be 6 something, but that doesn't make any sense either. All the same numbers. Yeah, only 555 works here. So if only 555 works here... But both of these are supposed to contain a 7. Yeah, so that's what throws me off, is that one of these two has to be 7 o'clock. Okay. Well, let's try this. Let's try this. 7 o'clock, right? But this clock has to be on the hour, so no, 7 has to be here. That's the only way this makes sense, is 7 has to be here. So 5, 6. This one has to contain a 7, and it has to contain all different numbers. So this is 7, and that's 7:55. Because, yeah, it's either 7:55 or 7:07, and 7:55 doesn't make any freaking sense. But if we're trying to do by ascending numbers, and if we assume this is number 1, Same 3 numbers and another clock here, but in reverse order. So we know this one has to be one of the 3 that's not set to an exact number. And it has to be in reverse order. So if we assume this has to be something like this. So 807, and maybe this is 708. So this will be like 6 something, and this will be 708, 7, 6. No, because 6 is here, right? So we have 5, 6, and then this will have to be 6 something. So I think 6. It's either 607 or 657. So let's get this set correctly. But here there's no doubles. And it's supposed to have 7s. So that's why I think this is supposed to be 8 and this is supposed to be 9. And this is 5. That's 6. That's 7. 708, 707. So this would be like 705 or 706. I think this is 706. I think that's where we screwed up. This is 706. And this guy here... No, this would have to be 705. Or we could do 757. No, it has to be 705. And then this one is 507. Right? So we have 5, 507, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 705, 707, 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And they're in descending order. Not ascending order, right? Well, what if this is 757? Or 755? And then instead of 507, this is 557. There's a flaw in my logic here, and I just can't figure out what it is. Because, yeah, this one has to have at least 2 of the same number. And none of them can contain 1, 2, or 3, which means... Yeah, and if it's supposed to be in descending order, assuming this is first... Because this clock is supposed to be on the hour and contain a 7, so therefore this needs to be 7 o'clock. This is 6. This is 5 something. 7:55. 5:57. And 5 o'clock. Right? What am I missing here? Another clock here, but in reverse order. So we know by the definition that can't be it. And if that's the case, then these two should be forced to be there. We don't have 1, 2, 3, or 4. I mean, I feel this matches all the clues we have. Each clock is set to a different time. 5 of the clocks are set to a time on the hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. This clock has a time containing all different numbers, but it's red, so that should be false, right? So is that saying it should be all the same number? Because in that case, there's only one possibility, and that's 555 here. But it's supposed to contain a 7. That's why I'm baffled with this. Like, because there is no 70, there is no 60 on the clock. But if this is supposed to contain a 7, which is what it says, this clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing 7. That leaves either 557, 50, or 507. Or 755. So if this one is 6... Well, that one's 7 on the hour. So this one would be 6. 5 something, 5 something, 5, then 5 o'clock. Maybe that would work? So this is 5 and change here somewhere. And that this would be 507? Or 557? Let's try that. Let's try 557. And then this one would be 6. Right? 6 o'clock. This one's 7. 557, 5 o'clock, and this is 5 something. So that's 1, 2 that are off. So 7. This one would be 8. And then this is 9. Okay. Okay, so then this would have to be 8 something. Meaning, if this has to be 5 something, this could be 805. Whoops, I keep pressing the wrong key. 805 and then 508 here. So 508. Okay, there we go. I guess I just didn't have the background picked, but there we go. We have the Sanctum key. So the times will go up in ascending order. So I guess this is the first one, and it goes this way. But okay, we did it, guys. We solved it. Took us a bit, but we did it. Okay, YouTube, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna make some notes real quick. Actually, we have to make some notes. Let's go to the rotunda first before that. Then I'll mark off that we got it, but let's just kind of try to maximize what we have. But we did finally solve the clock tower, so that's good. We solved the clock tower. We'll go back to the rotunda and we'll rotate this around. And we'll go back down and try to solve another one. Maybe we'll try to use process of elimination on a couple, I don't know. Okay, and then we should take notes in the Dovery before we do that, so... Alright, we can get the pool hall here, the aquarium. I'm really looking for the workshop. But let's go for the aquarium. We'll go for the aquarium here. Because that's really our only shot, and then we need to hope we can draft the pool hall, or not the pool hall. I should have kept that key, actually. Well, we can do the lab or the walk-in closet. I don't really feel the walk-in closet or the closet's going to help us at this point. Because we can't get the workshop. That is unfortunately going to end this particular run. We don't get the super sledge, despite drafting the greenhouse, which stinks. But I think we go with the lab here. We get an experiment feature. We either try to remove a crate or, you know, something like that, right? And then I'll probably stop the recording here in a bit to take notes on the dowry we got. Experiment setup. Each room in the 9th rank. A letter will be delivered to the mail room. Okay. Experiment setup. Okay. So we should get 2. I know adding 1 to the allowance was good, but alright, we got 2 letters delivered to the mailroom. So we entered into 2 rooms there at the 9th rank, and that's all we can do. Alright. So we're just waiting for this to rotate. Man, I really wish we had like 1 more spot we could draft for the day. That would be really cool. But that is unfortunately not the case. I was really hoping we'd get the workshop, but not our luck today. All right. Yeah, we don't need to go back to the office. We read through that. We have steps for days. I guess, you know what I can do? Let's buy some keys until we're sold out. Okay, there we go. And the reason I do that is because now we can use those keys down at the reservoir. Bedroom would take us back to the foundation, but we don't need to go there, so that's fine. Through the secret passage. Servant spare quarters. Back through the reading nook. I still can't think of any clues for the castle cipher either. I thought for sure that the nook could be one, but I guess I was mistaken. I don't really need any of these gems, but I'll pick them up anyway. Let's think. Conservation. Alright, let's go take a look at those notes again. I'll pause the recording just so you guys don't have to stare at the bottom of my head while I'm taking notes on all this. And we'll come back and then go open more of those boxes down in the reservoir and then head over to the sanctuary as well. So that'll be our plan for now, guys. So YouTube, I'll be right back. Hey YouTube, welcome back. So I just finished taking my notes, and this is what I've got, just so you guys can see I'm not bullshitting you. My pen actually ran out of ink midway through, but I don't know how well you can read a lot of this, but as you can see, that's where my pen ran out of ink. So that is where we are. But I did take some notes from the Dovacote about Mary. I didn't take any notes about the emails from the bomb shelter, but that was all kind of information we already knew. I don't know how important those dates will be, if at all. But I figure maybe I'll just go back in and take a look at the recording again. I'm not going to worry about it too much. What I want to do before we end this run and this video, because I know it's been going probably close to 2 hours now, is I want to go back down to the reservoir. We have 21 keys, so I figure we'll just go open as many chests as we can and call it good for there for now. And then, of course, we do have the sanctuary key as well, where we'll probably have to try and make an educated guess on Araha. I think I have an idea of what it could be, but we will have to check and see if I am correct. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else we can do or need to do at this point. So let's head on down, and we'll go down below the reservoir. And do I need to go down through the foundation? I don't think so. I think I can just go down in the basement. We have enough steps where I'm not worried about it. But that is where we are at the moment. I noticed we haven't gotten the rumpus room in a while, so I don't know if that hint will help us for where we need to go. But we do have 5 out of the 8 sanctuary keys now. I was correct. I'm happy to know that I was correct about the clock tower. I'm a little not frustrated, but I'm curious whether or not we got oh, that's right, I filled it back up. Damn, we have 21 keys, and I can't use them. That's unfortunate. Well, this is that decision coming back to bite me. So, that's okay, though. I should have known when we had the pool. I think I made the decision that we would have that. So, that's my fault. I totally forgot about that. But that's okay. We can at least unlock the sanctuary. Yeah, I didn't get the pump room this time around. So that's a little unfortunate, but hey, all good. We can always drain the reservoir another time when we get a million keys, hopefully. But yeah, it's funny too. We didn't get the pump room despite the fact that we drafted the pool pretty early. We just never got the pump room. I think we got the sauna as an option, and I know for a fact we got the locker room as an option. I was hoping we'd get the workshop and the battery or the broken lever. Didn't work out that way, unfortunately. Okay, so here we are. We have Nuance, who I think we have a clue on. We have, we already solved that one. Morajai. We could do Morajai. I think we know that one. I think he said that the weather was nicer, if I remember correctly. Let me take a look here. Yeah, Morajai is white. Probably the ship naval transportation. I think he said the weather was nicer on the island. So we could probably make a guess on Morajai. It's either Araha or Morajai, and I think Araha will have a better shot. Because I think I can guess the transportation, and then we just need to guess the weather. But let me take a quick look here. And let me see. So yeah, we had poetic, but I don't think we had any sign of what that was. So let me just take a look again at my notes. And I definitely want to redo all my notes at some point, guys. I think that might be my big project for today, is I go in and redo a lot of my notes. Because there's a lot of information we have. So I think it's horseback. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's horseback for Iraha. So that just leaves the weather, which I don't know, and we'd have to guess on that. But I think for the weather, there's one of each, so we can probably rule out a couple. Let me take a look here. I don't think it would be snowy. I don't think it's heat. It might be rainy. I don't think it's fog. I don't think it's stormy. It could be windy. But we know it's poetic. Or it could even be normal. So I'm torn between this and Mora Dry. I think before I make my decision, I'm going to go take a look at the island weather comment on the other log. We know Vera is after Morajai. Yeah, it's an island, naval, so the only thing we don't know is we don't know what they're known for. So I guess we'll probably go with the Raha because I'm reasonably certain we can figure that one out with the weather. Reasonably so, but I'm not 100%, like it would still be an educated guess. Because we know they're poetic. And I'd be willing to bet it's either windy or normal for their weather. Alright. Let's go Araha. I made my decision. So, we know that they are poetic, which is the flower. That's spiritual. There it is. We also know that their transportation because of the hint we got for them. It could be rainy, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think their transportation is going to be horseback. I think. Just because they're poetic. And from what I remember, like when we had the clue, there wasn't any sign of it, and we had like this upper like left corner here, right? So that's why I think it's this. We had like this section right here. And there's not very many of these that go there. It's like camels and mules, which would imply arid or a desert, which could be it, or horseback and rough trails. So it's 2 for 2, and then for the weather, it's either going to be rainy, windy, or normal. So I figure we'll just give it a shot and see what happens. But let's get the violet border here, which I believe is that one. Let me just double check. We know they're violet. We know they're purple. Yeah, so violet has... Yeah, that there. So let's try this and see if we got it right on the first try. No. Okay, let's switch transportation. And then let's switch back to the right color. Okay, so that's also not correct. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. And that is the one I wanted, so I have to go back and do it again. It's not jagged. I think that's windy, right? No, that's heat. That's heat. Could be snowy. But this is windy. We'll try windy. Alright, and now let's get our purple here again. No. Okay. So let's try our transportation one more time. Nope. Tried rain. No. Don't think it's going to be heat. Snow? Oh, well, it might help if I put the right background again. I keep forgetting. Every time I switch it, I have to switch all of them for some reason. I hate that that's the way this works, by the way. I really do. Okay. Alright, gotta go through them all. No? Okay. Alright, not normal weather. So let's try switching our transportation type. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, now we gotta, I think, try our... weather here. Now we switch this back. Alright, weather again. We'll try storms. Okay. It's probably not heat. Could be snow. I'm willing to at least try it. Nope. Okay. Wind. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Wind. Nope. Okay. So let's just go through a list of everything I've got here, and we'll try them. I'm pretty confident they're either... Since we didn't have any ray in, like, the corner, I'm pretty sure... Like, I'm pretty sure, because it's not turtles, right? We've already done turtles. I'm reasonably certain that this is it here. Because we got the piece that indicates that. So maybe they do have normal weather. I don't know. Oh, might help if we switch this. They could have foggy weather. I mean, I know some of the weather will have to overlap, at least one. But I would have thought that would have been Fen Aries and Orinda Aries, right? Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Again, we're kind of doing some educated guessing. We haven't actually confirmed that yet, but... Yeah, both of them have fog, so I would imagine the other 7, because they're the same location, right? So their weather would be the same, but, you know, how they do things would be different. So I imagine that Iraha is got to be probably either, like, normal, because it's not mountainous, right? Iraha's not mountainous. So I don't think it would be snowy. I don't think it's going to be fog. Windy, I would imagine, could be, so maybe it's rainy? Let's try. No? Okay. I don't think it's going to be stormy. I think the storms were in Arc Aries. We already had heat. It could be snowy, but I think snowy will probably be saved for the mountains. But, you know what, let's try it. Why not? Let's at least try it. We can rule it out. Let's see here. Because, yeah, Arc Aries weather is stormy. So... Ooh, okay. So we've done heat. We haven't done rainy. Let me see here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would imagine it's either normal weather or rainy. Arc Aries is stormy. We don't know what they are. So if I had to guess, they're probably industrial. So all we know is that they're poetic and purple. That's all we know. I imagine... based on the piece we found in the clock tower, that they either have horseback or... let's try wind. Oh, so it's not wind. Let me just check all the colors again and make sure I've got this right, because if I have the everything else right, not the border, that's going to be really funny. And by funny, I mean really sad, and it's going to make me cry a little on the inside, but that's okay. Let's see. I really do need to, like, reorganize all my notes here at some point. Sorry, guys. I know this is just a lot of me, like, going back and forth. So white has the circles, black has the circles and the dots, red is the wavy lines, violet has the short little stabs, green has the dashes, yellow looks like a sun, orange has the triangles, and pink is the... there. So yeah, we have the right border. We've been using the right border, which means that we have not found the right combination of ray and weather, because we know poetic for sure. Okay. I wonder if they're also train or locomotive. Because I think with transportation, there's only 7 too. It's possible that they're train or locomotive. We haven't tried that one yet. So let's give it a shot. Why not? I do just want to try normal weather here, and we'll see if I'm right. I don't think I am, but we can try, right? No, okay. That's not correct. Because they were allies with Arindia, and they didn't join against Arindia. So maybe they shared rail lines. That's kind of my thought. Alright, so I think that is rail lines. I'm pretty sure. So now let's switch the weather. But then again, I don't think that's correct because we did have a piece where there were two. I mean, I guess that kind of works. Alright. Okay. Yeah, so that's train locomotives right there. Could be right. We could have just had a different corner, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, but... let's just check. Alright, let's do one more weather check, and then we'll probably just have to move on. We'll do rain. We got it! Nice! Last check too. So I'll just make a note of that. Rain with transportation. So they have rainy weather, and they had rails. So... oops. I've done that twice now where I've... so there's... looks like this. And they had one up here. Okay. So yeah, their transportation is train or locomotive, and their weather was rain. Good to know. We got it. All right. Might be able to solve the Arc Aries one, too. Man, that looks beautiful, though. They really did a good job with this art, huh? We'll read that in a moment. Araha, not through port towns, as they had Nelorums by train routes from the north. Created a similar reflection of the variation first introduced by Arc Aries some years earlier. They moved south. Okay. Yeah, and that's right. The red flip. I think yellow adapt depending on what happens. Like what they're surrounded by. And then red, they take over the black ones. So there's got to be a way... okay. I think the yellow adapt if there's 2 around them, if I remember correctly. Or no, did the yellow move north? Yeah, so the arc areas, they move... Yeah, that's right. Yellow moves north, Araha moves south. So we're on the right track with what we want to do here. We need to use the green to flip them around and not touch the red one until we have to. So basically the red one is the dummy there. Yeah, so we move this here. And this here. Okay. Yep, alright, I think I know what we need to do. So we move that there, move that here. We flip this guy. Move this one over here. Let's see. Flip this guy. Flip. So yeah, now he goes to the opposite side. Flip that guy. Okay, now we need to get the yellow over here and the... No, we need to actually get the green down here to flip him to go down. Or move up, rather, and then get this guy over here. So we flip this, flip here, flip again, flip, flip like that, flip again, flip. So now those 2 are covered. And now we need to get this guy down. So we move him here for now. We flip that, flip this, press. Got it. Boom, 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 boom. And there's our allowance token. All right. Let's read this postcard. Little disappointed there's not been a drop of rain during my time here, as every Irajan story you've ever heard has begun with rain. I suppose the anecdotes I made on this trip will have to do without that flavorful setting. However, even without the rain, the puddles and the ponds that dot the cliffside make this place feel different than home. Loria Yena Your Lune. Herbert. Alright, and that is... I actually don't know when that one is. First Haraja. Hugh M. Amdo. So let's take a look at some of the Irajan we know. And there's no note here, which is unfortunate. But Hugh, I remember, is house. I don't remember what AM stands for, but I do recognize it. Large, to the large house. And then DDO. I don't know that one. But Loria is last word. So yeah, Loria is last word. Ajlor Lune. Lune is water. So last word Yena. I don't know Yena. But yeah, large house Ovet is east. Ajlor is first word. So new word, first word water. I don't see a date or anything on here either. First Araha. So I don't know where Araha falls. It might be second. Because he's comparing to how it's, the puddles and ponds dot the countryside make this place feel like home. So I'll make a note and just, suggest that Araha's possibly second. I do feel that Loria Yena Alor Loon is water. First word, and I don't know what Yena is. We can probably determine what that is. But I don't even see like a hint in the Arajan we know. But just based on his comments about how it, feels different than home, I think this is his second, so I'll make a note about that. So I'll just, I won't actually fill it in, but I'll just put a little note there for now. And I think that will wrap us up. I don't think we can do anything else. We don't have the pump room. I could look around and try to find more Castle Cipher stuff, but I don't know. Unless I think I find something, I don't feel that's the greatest idea. What I will do is we'll try Arc Aries just because I think we can narrow it down. We know the weather is stormy, so that's kind of nice. We don't know the transportation. But we know the weather's stormy, and we don't know what it is that they do. So we could make some guesses, though. They allied with Arc Aries. Oh yeah, let me make a note that I got the third key in the clock tower. So yeah, we've got 5. We're only missing, major draft late. So what is Ma in Irahan? Just curious. Because I feel that's the clue. Sorry, I know I'm getting distracted here. I do apologize. Ma is small. Jor is a name, I think. So a major draft late. It makes me feel like that could be the music room, but I'm not 100% sure. And then there's one in the vault we've never been able to unlock. We haven't gotten the key yet. But alright, let's take a look at what we know about Arc Ares. We know that it's stormy. And we know that it's yellow. So, process of elimination, because I imagine they wouldn't give us everything without it. I'm wondering if it's desert with camels. That's what I'm honestly wondering. If it's desert with camels. It could be horseback with rough trails. But if it's stormy and to the north, maybe it's mountainous? Let's see. I wonder if it's... It's probably not Marshall or Metropolitan. So that would leave it as hunter-gatherers, agriculture, academics, industrial, and then yellow is the sun. Stormy is the jagged lines. Let's try agricultural with stormy and let's do horseback. So horseback is the 4. Oops, that's not the one I wanted to use, so let's go back. Because I'm pretty sure they said it was stormy in the book. Which is why I made the note. I mean, God, it could just have normal weather. That could be fun. But no, I think it's stormy with horseback, I think is what it is. And agricultural. Is that the right background? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so maybe it's not horseback or agricultural. So let's take a look at some of the others it could be. It could be academic, it could be tribal, or it could be industrial. Let's try, let's try academic. Nope, okay. Industrial? Nope. It's not spiritual. It's not... Okay, because, yeah, yellow looks like the sun. So we got that. So if it's not horseback with rough trails, maybe it's hunter-gatherers in the desert, perhaps? I don't think so, but let's give it a try. So we need to switch transportation, which is this one. That is train or locomotive. That one is aviation and balloons, which we know Nuance has that. So this is camels. Okay. Let's try agriculture with camels. No. Academics. No. Okay. I wonder if everyone is actually used once. I mean, we already had some overlap. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it is stormy. It specifically mentions that it's stormy. In Arc Aries. And all the others have been different, with the exception of, like, a couple. I highly doubt it's Turtleback. Maybe Rhodes? Since it's an ally of, an ally of Fenris? No? Okay. I think we need to get more information on Arc Aries. I've ruled out everything I thought it would be. I'm pretty sure it's stormy. And to me, it just feels like it would be either agricultural or tribal, probably more than anything else. Could be academic, but I don't know. For me, I get the feeling that Nuance is the industrial flyer, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think we'll probably call it there, guys, at least for this video. I may go look around just since I have so many resources. I think I may look around and see if I get any hints. If that is the case, I'll add on to the end of this video. We'll just kind of interrupt there, and I'll let you guys know if I find anything with the Castle Cipher. Hey, YouTube, I am back. This will be a brief add-on, hopefully, to the previous video. Long story short, I was working on the Castle Cipher. I also found a couple other clues that we'll go over here in just a second, but I basically learned a couple weather patterns for some of the other regions. Namely, I was able to narrow down Cocorica, I think is what it's called, and that's snowy. And then while we were gone, I also think I have identified that Morajai is agricultural because of the secret garden says it's Morajai produce. So I think those were the two big hints I found. As far as the castle cipher goes, I think I have a clue here. I did have to look up a hint for it, a couple hints actually, because I didn't know, frankly. So I had to look it up, and I have a couple rooms where there are supposedly hints. I haven't looked beyond that though, so we're gonna have to try again and see where we go from there. But in the meantime, let's switch back because I think I want to make another couple shots at Arc Aries, and then we'll go explore those other rooms where there's supposed to be hints. So I will be right back. So here we are. We're still in the inner sanctum. I haven't gone very far, but I did spend about like 30 minutes looking over all my notes. And I think I'm pretty confident through process of elimination I have a lot of these right. Basically, I think this could be a academic location. So I'm going to check that out and we'll try academic. It's not agricultural. And I'm pretty convinced that each of the regions is unique with some exceptions. So academic is this one here. This is with camels and it's stormy. So I figured we will try this. And that didn't work. So what I would like to do now is actually try to switch our location to horseback riding. I'm reasonably certain that this isn't correct, but I figured we can give it a try. So it is yellow. Okay, I at least eliminated that. That makes me feel a little better. That is roads, so I figure we'll try this as well with academics. And we'll just kind of do a process of elimination here. And we are kind of brute forcing it a bit, but not entirely. And now here's horseback and academics. But I don't think it's academics, and the reason why is because in that letter we had in the Dovery today, it indicated that Mary was east for schooling. So I'm thinking that it could even be academics, could even be nuance, since I think, well, actually I think nuance is to the west, so I'd have to double check, but if they're coming back from the east, I'm not 100% sure. But I figured that also could be a clue. So let's switch over to industrial. And we'll try that. This is with horseback and trails. So let's try, rather than go to industrial with the camel. Let's see. I have all my notes here listed so I can find them easier. I kind of marked everything. So this is aviation and balloons. I don't think this is correct, but I figure we'll check it anyway. And, oh, I checked the wrong one. So here we are back with camels. Industrial. In the desert storms. Let's switch over to tribal. That didn't work. So let's now rule out academics and agriculture. So the realm was vast. And I remember it was described as stormy. So I'm reasonably certain I'm close to this. We've already used train or locomotion twice. It could be 3 times. So let's try that. Because that was how they were all connected at one point, and it's possible that just one isn't being used. Whoops, I needed to hit the other rotation. Sorry, guys, I am just absolutely flailing at this. There we go. I highly doubt it's turtleback. That is naval, so we can at least try. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Tribal here. Oops. Stormy. Oh, come on now. That's not what I clicked. Let's not do this. Come on. But then we will go hunt for clues here in a minute. I just want to kind of do some process of elimination here. I don't want to spend too long since I do have an obligation here coming up and I need to eat. And of course, every single time I go to press the button, I miss it somehow. Nope, okay. Let's rotate. I keep pressing the wrong one. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping this would be in and out, just testing out a couple theories to see if I got it right. There we go. Alright. That is... Actually, oh, that's 4, so that is roads and streets. So let us switch over to agriculture and try that. Oh, it might help if I, again, had the right... No, okay. I doubt it's military. Could be Metropolis, but I don't think so. I don't think it's academic. So industry, no. Alright, and then I gotta rotate the wheel. Nope, it's not the wheel. I keep making that mistake. I'm sorry, everybody. Come on. Switch. 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 Stormy, thank you. Okay. Nope. That wouldn't work. Alright, not tribal. On horseback. Agriculture? No. Military? No. Metropolis? No. Academic? No. Industrial? No. Spiritual? No. Tribal. Alright, let's flip this. This is train or locomotion. I'm willing to at least try it. Because again, they did have lines that were built across all of them. Wow, okay. I got it. So yeah, that also was let me make the notes. That was industrial. I figured that those might share some. So that's kind of cool. Let me make a note of where that is. I'm just gonna write down real quick, but hey, we got Arc Ares due to again a little bit of process of elimination and a little bit of luck. But it makes sense that those three would all share train lines. All right. So that's good that we got that. Okay. Not bad. We arrived here after a few days of sailing, and it made me realize how much more convenient it would be in the old days when the railway tracks extended all the way north. Arc Ares is a destination with which I am well acquainted, having traveled here countless times on business for Cinca. This time I will avoid the familiar towns and factories and will instead trudge along the northern coast, an area which I am wholly unfamiliar. And yeah, it looks like it's the first city of steel. Alright, so they got there after sailing. So let's see. I would imagine this is probably one of his last ones because it's after sailing. So it sounds to me like he started from Arindia Ares, he went down to Araha, traveled out by boat, probably to Nuance. Then he did one of the others, but it says here after sailing, and I don't see a date anywhere on here either. But it's after sailing. And it's industrial, familiar towns and factories, and yeah, it's the first city of steel. And it's full of storms. Yeah, if I have to, I can figure out the order later. Okay, and then let's take a look at this. Very first realm enters new color. Ship routes and trade between the two realms. Yeah, makes sense. Variation itself is based on the brass compasses. Manufactured in arch areas are often traded to sailors in exchange for the valued Morajai puzzle boxes. And yellow moves north. Okay, so the way we have to flip this is if yellow tiles move north. I don't remember what the gray tiles do. But I think... So we have to flip one of these guys back down. And there we go. Boom, 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 boom. We did it. All right, got that. So, we solved all that. We only have 3 sanctum keys left to go. And there's a couple rooms and a couple areas I want to check out while we're here. We do have the key card, so I could summon the elevator. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the time here. I need to give myself enough time to eat. But I didn't want to go and explore an area without at least giving you guys the opportunity to follow along with me. So this is a very brief add-on to our previous run. We did have 111 steps, which is why I was so reluctant to just end the day. Because I wanted to get some hints for the castle cipher here. Though I don't... there's a lot I don't fully understand. And they're removing certain crates. Looks like we still have quite a few to go, but that's okay. We can get there. And so I did, as I mentioned, I had to look up where to go for this castle cipher to get hints because I just hadn't had any luck and hadn't found anything yet. And the clues that I did know were honestly kind of confusing me. Not through any fault of anyone else, but just one of those things. But yeah, there is one thing that there is a maneuver called the castle, and I did not know that's what it was called. But I was told that there is a hint in here, and it looks like this might be it. Though I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, so I do want to take a look around. But I imagine this would not be here without some kind of coincidence. So I think this could be it. This could be part of the cipher. I just don't know where. So I will put a little note here with this. Because, yeah, it looks like it's in that setup, the same setup. So I will just put a note. We have I blank I. And then we have a 0 and a 0. And actually, this isn't correct. It's like that, I think. So I'll just make a note there, because I think that could be the cipher clue. The other 2 rooms that we have drafted, besides that room, the Blackwater Grotto, are the Cloister, and I believe the other one is... I'll have to double check, but I think the other one is the Secret Passage. And those also are supposed to have hints for the castle cipher, so we will go check that out. So it says there should be a hint somewhere here in the cloister. But I don't know where that is, so we're going to look at that together. I think I may have an idea where it is in the secret passage. I think I may have spotted it before and just not known what it was. But I don't see anything that's jumping out at me here, at least. I bet someone in YouTube or whoever's watching this right now is screaming at me. And that's okay. They have every right to scream at me for not understanding it or not finding it. Wasn't there a note, like, on one of the walls? I thought there was a small, like, hint. But I'm not seeing it. I just know there's supposed to be one in here. I just don't know what that is. Let's see. I don't see anything up there. Like, no sequence of letters or numbers, right? Thought that could be something, but no, I don't think so. Nothing on the statue. It did say there was supposed to be a hint here. I just don't see it. I don't see anything that could even relate. Like, at least with the Blackwater Grotto, we found the note. You know what I mean? Just gonna look very, very carefully here. I don't see anything drawn on the walls. Or engraved. I must admit, I'm stumped by this. I was told the cloister is supposed to be one of the areas. Let me check and see where this is. I don't mind at this point because I've been stuck on it for a long time. Okay, so it says here it's not here. So it says there isn't one in the cloister after all, which means IGN is full of shit. IGN. That's okay though. But then there's supposed to be another one on in the secret passage, and we can go get that. So we actually have to go through the hallway. Yeah, they sent me on a wild goose chase in the cloister, huh? Okay. So I thought I saw something, a note or something in here. I don't remember for sure. Oh, hey, wait a minute. That's something. And it looks like it's... DOOR? So I just don't know where that would fit. So we have D-O-O-R, door. But it's not spelled. So let's see. It looks like there are a two-letter gap there. So maybe this is O-R? So maybe this is something. No. So maybe the D goes here, and then there's two separate down to the R. So maybe this would be. I'm not sure. Well, I'll just kind of leave a note similar. There's a D, two spaces, R, O, and O on there. At least I think that's what it is. It's hard to see, but... Okay. So, and I don't know if they overlap or what, but that seems to be a similar grid-like pattern. And I think that's everything we have access to. It says here the rest are in the vault, the locker room, new clue, and the kennel. But yeah, it looks like it's all for a grid of some kind. But okay, I think that's all we can do for today when it comes to this castle cipher. I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw what I did. And yes, I did have to use a guide, but I figured it's been, I think, like 10 runs I've tried the castle cipher without any luck, so I figure getting a couple hints is alright. But thank you guys for watching, YouTube. I'll just attach this on to the end of the video, but thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye, YouTube.